A lot of people have been wondering how Reverend Fathers cope. These guys go through life without ever thinking of getting married. Why some of them truly devote themselves to serving God, there are some of them that secretly find a way to enjoy themselves. This girl has a story to tell. She was an altar servant in a church, serving a Reverend Father. But somehow, this Reverend Father was making countless attempts towards her, and he did some things that she has come here to talk about.
He came in, and then that was when he tried kissing me this time, and I refused, and then he pushed me on the bed. He tried it forcefully on me, and he was like, "That means I've never seen how sperm look like." And I told him no.
Can you tell the world exactly all you told me?
So I was actually brought up in a Catholic home. My parents are very serious. They go to church every day. Practically, it was just a normal family. I was an altar server. I come to church on Saturdays, prepare the children because I was their vice president, prepare them for Mass on Sunday, choose Mass and go back home. Then the Reverend Father asked me to help him clean his room, and to me I thought it was just a normal job assisting the priest. So I went helping him to do the work. Not until he came after, and then he tried touching me in an appropriate way. Then things went far and I told him I couldn't do it, and then I left. Few weeks later, he came and then he tried kissing me again, and then he asked me how old I was, and I told him I was just 15. And then he told me, "Don't worry, just 3 years from now, I'll be able to do it without any fear." At that point, I wouldn't say I didn't really understand what he meant, but I did not just want to believe what I heard instead. And then I left. Then another time I came, this time I came with my friend because I didn't want to go alone. And then he spiked my drink. But God helped me. It was my friend that drank it, not me. So she was the one that fell asleep, not me.
Wow, wait. Seriously? He put something in a drink that he was meant to give to you?
Yeah, it was actually supposed to be me and my friend, but it was only my own that was spiked. And my friend ended up drinking it because it was cold and I couldn't drink it that time. So she drank it.
Wait, I'm curious. You are a girl, you're serving. Are you supposed to be close to a Reverend Father in the first place? And what were you always doing close to this Reverend Father?
I was not just close to him because normally I have to be close to Reverend Fathers because I serve Mass, but not that close that entering his room to arrange his room. But at that time I didn't know. I just thought it was just part of my work.
What were you and his friend doing in his room that he had to serve people drink?
It was me and my friend. We went to clean the room. I was supposed to go alone, but I didn't want to go, so I asked her to follow me. So he gave us drink. I was supposed to drink my own, and then he sent her to buy something for him. But she said she was tired and she couldn't go, so I ended up going. And when I came back, I found her already sleeping. And that was when I knew he had put something inside, because when she woke up, I asked her, and she said she did not even know what happened, that she just slept off. That day passed. The next day.
And he didn't do anything to her?
No, he didn't do anything to her. Few weeks later, he came back and I went to clean his room. This time my friend didn't come to church, so I was all alone. And he sent somebody. He didn't come by himself. He sent somebody, the person who works in the church, and told me to go and clean his room. And I went because the person is also an altar server and he's higher than me. So I went to do the work, cleaning the room and stuff. He came in, and then that was when he tried kissing me this time, and I refused, and then he pushed me on the bed. Sorry. He pushed me on the bed and he came on me and like forcefully tried. Sorry. He tried to, should I use the word? But he tried it forcefully on me, and I was able to scream until somebody ended up coming. And when we heard somebody coming, he left me and I ran out. The person that was coming, I went to tell him because he saw me coming out of the room. And I told him everything, and he was like, why will I even go there in the first place and stuff? So I explained everything to him, and he told me I shouldn't go there again.
Who is this person?
He also works in the church.
Is he a Reverend Father?
No, he just works in the church. He told me I shouldn't go there again. And I said okay, and I left. Few weeks later, he called me back to his room, but I didn't go. So he told the other person to come and to follow me, that let me and him come and clean the room. So since I was not the only one there, I decided to go. Since it was me and the guy, we went there. I was cleaning the room, and then he said he was coming back. My mind didn't even go there because we have been cleaning the room for minutes, so I thought we were just going to get something and come back, just for him to go. And then the seminarian came in afterwards, and the Reverend Father asked me, okay, how old am I? And I told him, and he was like, that means I've never seen how sperm look like. And I told him no. And then in my very front, on top of the bed, he laid a wrapper and he himself there for me to see. And
Were you the only one there?
Yes.
How did the other guy that went to the room with you, how did he leave?
He told me he was coming back, that he wants to get something that we're going to use to clean the room. Since we were sweeping and mopping, we already finished arranging the table. So I said, okay. He left, and then the seminarian came in, and then he did it. And
Which one is seminarian? The Reverend Father is known as seminarian.
he was not actually yet a Reverend Father. He was soon to be a Reverend Father. Practically, he was a Reverend. Like 2 weeks to his ordination, actually, to become a Reverend Father. Then, but we started calling him Father because he was supposed to be a Reverend Father by that time, but due to some things, he got moved. So we just started calling him Reverend Father. So the Reverend Father came in, did himself, and then I left the room. And I couldn't take it anymore. And my friends, they were like, I should report him to the other Reverend Father, that is the senior one. And I just went and I told the Reverend Father, the senior one, that, okay, I need to talk to you. And he asked me, okay, is this something important and private? I said yes. So he took us to his own house. And then he asked me what happened, and I told him everything, and he was shocked. And he asked me if I told my parents, and I said no. Unfortunately, that was the mistake I made. I didn't tell anybody except my friends. And he said, okay, no problem, that he was going to get back to me. I left that day. My dad came back home that Saturday night, and he asked me what happened, what did I tell the Reverend Father, and I told him everything. My parents were angry because I didn't tell them first, and they know how that Reverend Father was. He was very strict, and they knew this matter would not just die down easily. I came back on Sunday, about to serve Mass, and then the Reverend Father was looking at me, and I was shocked, and I was like, and he called me and he asked me, what did I go and tell Reverend Father? And I told him nothing, and he was like, I should not lie, that I should just go and tell them that everything was a lie. I didn't talk, I just left. I couldn't serve the Mass again. That Sunday, a lot of people in my church were looking at me with bad eyes because for some reason the news had already spread around the church within 24 hours. And everybody knew the Reverend Father as this sweet, humble, loving person. And I was now this person that, okay, they always see with this particular boy in church. And the boy was just my friend. But as far as they see that boy in church with me, people just assume, okay, something is going on with me and him. The senior Reverend Father called me, and then he told me that he have taken the case to the bishop, and that they are sending down counsel, a group of people, to come and interview me and hear my own side of the story. So they sent them. I went to church on a Saturday morning. We started the whole interview. They told me to write everything that happened. I started and I wrote everything that happened, and he also wrote everything that happened. To me, I didn't really bother because he will surely say the truth. There was no two ways about it. He would just say the truth, but not until when they were reading his own letter, and he was like, there's this particular boy he normally used to see me with. And then his own excuse was that if he keeps seeing me with that boy, that he's going to report me to my parents. And then that was why me and the boy planned this whole thing to bring him down.
To frame him up.
Yes. And the painful part was that if you actually look at it from his own angle, it was very easy to believe because I was always with that boy. And people have seen me with that boy. So it was actually very easy for him to believe. They had to shift the meeting to the following Sunday. The following Sunday, I went and they still asked me, okay, when did it start? And I told them it started November. But the day the council and every of them came was actually January. So I had like 2 months to report, but I did not report. And then that's why people were like, if you actually started November, why didn't I not report on time? And I said I was scared that I didn't know what to do. Then it was mid-January. We came for the last time. He came with proof, a lot of proof. And I didn't have any actually.
A lot of proof that what?
That anytime I was coming to his room, I was never alone, because I did a video in his phone when I was cleaning the room, and I was with my friend and another person. We were 3. So in the video, I was not alone. So he
Oh, you guys, I can understand the scenario. Now people were so close.
Yes. So he showed them, and I didn't have any. I was just alone, and practically everybody started believing him that I made up this whole story, and everybody started looking at me with bad eyes. I remember how many times I go to church on Sundays, and members of the church will be like, "Oh, see this girl that wants to bring down this Reverend Father down," just because of they're trying to advise her. She's doing her own. I had to stop coming to the church for some weeks. Even the Reverend Father to be started calling other Reverend Fathers to talk to me, and they told me that I should say that this whole thing was a lie, and that I only said this thing because I was angry because he said he was going to report me to my mother. I was shocked how other Reverend Fathers too were actually telling me to lie. But at one point I actually wanted to lie because I didn't see this whole thing going anywhere. I thought I was going to lose. Until one day my friend called me, and he was like, that was even another different person. He knows nothing about this issue. And he called me and he was like, I was talking to him on the phone, and the seminarian walked in. So I thought I had cut the call, not knowing the call was still going on. So my friend actually recorded everything and the discussion between me and the Reverend Father. And the discussion was more like, I should better lie because there's nothing that will save me. Everybody's going to believe him and stuff, so I should just better lie. So when my friend sent me the voice note, I was actually happy, and I went to show the senior Reverend Father. And from there we went and they brought back the council. They judged the whole thing, and I came back victorious. I was actually the one that won, but there were still some people in my church that were still looking at me with bad eyes because they didn't believe the story and everything, because they didn't even know what happened. Most of them didn't know what happened, but they just judged.
So what did they now do to that very man?
They stopped him from serving mass. Practically, he stopped his missionary journey, and he went back to Kaduna, as I heard. Then, few weeks later, I heard from somebody that his mom was in the hospital due to shock. And few days later, I heard she died. And the whole thing was now like I was the one that put the woman in the hospital because I lied. And then another new rumor started going around my church that I was the one that brought down the seminarian. I killed his mom. I hope I'm happy. I couldn't take it, so I actually left the church and I stopped Altar Serve, and I stopped everything that had to do with church for months. It was until a few months later, and after they're coming, and by that time the whole issue had died. So I just came in, come for normal Sunday service, go back.
The same church?
Yes, but I was still just coming for a normal Sunday service and then going back home. I stopped every other activities I was doing in church because I didn't want anybody to talk. So that was actually what happened to me. And I just want to thank God that I came out victorious, and at the end of the day, they saw me not guilty. I'm just wondering if my friend had not recorded the whole thing, what would have happened? Because if not for my friend, they would have said I was lying and he was saying the truth, and I would have been shamed. But God was by my side, and everything went just as God planned it, and I'm so happy for that.
Wow, this is really shocking to hear. I can't believe that things like this really happen in churches. I mean, sometimes I see these kinds of things on social media, people just commenting about it. I don't really think it's true. And today, I hope everything you are telling us right now is true.
Yes, actually, it's actually true.
Because the way you talk, it was like you were just repeating something you had memorized already.
It happened a few years ago, actually. But the thoughts can actually never leave my head. The whole scenario and everything just happened like it was... I don't even know how to explain it, but it was actually painful.
How old are you now?
18.
I hope... but you're totally free from the experience.
Yes. kind of.
Okay. Your parents, they are okay.
Yes, my parents are okay, but should I say my social life in church actually reduced because I'm no longer doing anything in church. I just come to church and go back home.
All right, guys. Well, this is really surprising to hear. So I really don't know if this is really as true as she has explained. But if it's true, then it's really sad that children can no longer be considered safe around certain religious leaders. So sad. Okay, thank you so much. So we'll document your story and we'll find a way to put it out there. Is there anything you'd like to say again?
I just want to say that if you know that you want to become a Reverend Father or you want to go into seminary school and you can't control yourself or hold yourself, I would just advise you just stay back. Being a Reverend Father is not for everybody, to be honest. If you can't control yourself, just stay back. It's better you stay back and get married than for you to become a Reverend Father and still have that thought of sex or sexual habits in you, so that you won't end up making mistake you regret or another person will regret. I was lucky to come out, but I don't know if another person will be lucky to come out like me. So I just want to say you should just be careful.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this very episode, and bye.